Disturbed frontman David Draiman has made no secret about how he feels about Israel in the midst of that terrible war that's taking place in the Middle East right now that started back on October 7th when Hamas attacked those concert goers at that festival. Horrific scenes there. Of course, there has been a lot of criticism as well of the Netanyahu, so many civilian casualties. Now, David Draiman is currently on a trip to Israel where he took time out of that trip to meet with members of the Israel Defense Forces. And it was during that trip that he had a message that he wrote on some artillery in the midst of this conflict. Now, Draiman has also blasted none other than Pink Floyd's Roger Waters, who's been accused of anti-Semitism, even from his own former bandmate as well, and that has been a contentious situation. Now, Draiman previously, when Disturbed performed in Tel Aviv last year, blasted Waters from the stage, among others as well. Here is a little bit of what Draiman has said about Roger Waters. Draiman recently spoke in an interview with Linda Advocate about his disdain for Roger Waters, even saying that he'd be willing to go to jail if he had an encounter with Waters in public. He said on the Linda Advocate podcast, "He's a piece of work, that deluded old freak. Anti-Semitic to his rotten core. Just ask David Gilmour and his wife. They'll testify to it. He's been that way for the duration of his life and the duration of his career. It's nothing new. He's a coward. He's a hypocrite. He's a supporter of dictators and dictatorial regimes all over the world. He's an apologist for Putin and an apologist for anybody that's on the wrong side of history. He's a deluded wannabe socialist as well. Everything that he wrote about, everything that he professed to believe in that was so, even a maniac can create some great art. And it's hard to argue with the level of artistry of, let's say, a piece of work like The Wall. But everything that he was trying to convey and express in that piece of art has shown himself to be a hypocrite for. I was already losing my mind with him years ago when he was flying around a pig in his stadiums with the Star of David on it. The guy is a bully, and he wouldn't even dare to engage with me because it's not about logic and reasoning and facts and reality to people like him. It's about the narrative. It's about their hate-fueled, anti-Semitic, just spike-filled narrative that they continue to fuel this narrative of demonization of our people, of the state of Israel, their inability to accept the fact that we even exist. He's a monster. And this was Draiman's response when he was asked by the interviewer if he had ever tried to work things out with Waters. He said, "Oh, I'd love to meet him in person. Nothing would make me happier. I'd gladly serve whatever jail time and pay the bail necessary for whatever I could get done within a very limited period of time." And so David Draiman has been sharing a lot from his trip over in Israel, and he also posted a video of pride flags in Israel on the street. He said that you likely wouldn't be seeing that from other countries in the Middle East. Here's what he said.
Okay, so in case you can't see, there's the pride flags all the way up and down the street here. You think you're going to see a whole bunch of those in any other country in the Middle East? The answer is no. The reason why there's the larger yellow portion is for the hostages. Bring them home now.
And he has shared a lot of different posts of touring around Israel and meeting different people. And he met with the IDF and he shared these photos, and you can see him signing artillery there. The comments have a lot of people who are critical of him for this decision, with people pointing out the civilian casualties in this terrible war that's happening in the Middle East. But this is something clearly that David feels very strongly about. This is what he shared on his Instagram. So you can see here he is standing on a tank there with members of the IDF. His girlfriend is there as well. Here he is speaking with one of the military members. And you can see right there he is signing that artillery with the words Hamas on it. And there are people criticizing him or saying they're not going to listen to the band anymore. And here he is shaking hands after signing it. And you can see they've got all the military equipment out here as well. More of David meeting with people.
ופה זה העמדה של המפקד.
This is Sarah.
Hello, איתי.
So now you can switch to English because she doesn't understand.
It's just a terrible situation anytime there's a war happening, and it seems like there's no shortage of potential wars in the world right now. Hoping for peace. That is your latest update from Rockfeed. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.